Excuse me.
Excuse me. Tell everyone you've ever met right now, 'cause the bitch is back. Yes, the bitch is back.
Let your Buffy and Angel comfort content start now. Welcome to The Bitch is Back with Carpenter, a First Watch podcast powered by Patreon. The Bitch is Back is a First Watch podcast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and its spinoff, Angel. You might be wondering, why are you doing this now? Well, despite having starred in 147 episodes across both shows, I've actually never watched either one of them until now. You asked, and I delivered. Every podcast episode you can expect an introduction of the episode, which gives basic information about the writer, director, and release date. Then I will give a summary recap of that week's televised episode told in my particular brand of sass. This segment is known as This Week on the Hellmouth, According to the Bitch. What can I say? Here I will be highlighting themes, relevant dialogue, and discuss standout performances as they occur to me. This is a First Watch reflection and not an academic analysis, so it's important to keep in mind that the podcast is meant to be fun, sassy, and lighthearted, but also is an exploration of sorts through my lens, rooted in my personal experience, impressions, feelings, and memories from nearly a decade of collaboration over both shows. Then we will transition into a segment I call Staked and Slayed, where I give a short episode wrap-up. Last but not least, I will give thanks to everyone involved, and then that's when you tell everyone you have ever met about my new podcast, because people, the bitch is back. Welcome to this week's episode of The Bitch is Back. I am your host, Carpenter. This week's episode is Season 2, Episode 2, Some Assembly Required, written by David Tyron King, Rob Des Hotel, and Dean Batali, as well as staff writer Marty Noxon. Directed by Bruce. I do it every time. Bruce Seth Green. Looks easy to say, but apparently not. Originally released on September 22nd, 1997. Action. This week on the Hellmouth, according to the bitch. Tensions are high on campus. Xander feels used by Buffy after that sexy dance at the Bronze last episode, and no one seems to want to acknowledge it. Xander, though, not so subtly, does tell Buffy, in front of Willow, which was extra awkward, that, quote, people never want what's in front of them. They want the unattainable thing that they can't have, which is code for, why won't you choose me? And he's kind of angry about it. And then you have Willow standing there, looking at Xander, feeling the exact same way he does, but only about him. The Scoobies are so dysfunctional. Then we have Angel, who won't admit he's jealous of Xander because, well, let's be honest, Xander gets to be there when Angel can't. He also saved her life by blowing air he doesn't have in Buffy's lungs. Xander gets to take classes with Buffy, share meals with her, hear her jokes and complaints, and he gets to see her in the sunlight. All things considered, it sounds like a tremendous amount of obstacles to overcome to be in a relationship with Buffy. I'm beginning to understand Angel's conflict. Regardless, the heart wants what the heart wants. Their love's gravitational pull is too mighty to ignore. Neither stand a chance of denying their connection. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, he is hers and she is his. And then you have Giles, who is a grown-ass man struggling to ask one of his colleagues out on a date. Is this real life? The man is pushing 50. He's crying out over asking a colleague for a coffee or a drink. I'm not having it. I find all of these people extremely annoying. People need to tell the truth, say the thing, get it out on the table, talk about it, clear the air so they can either do something about it or move on. Why do I feel like the only grown-up in the room? And seriously, one of us is 241 years old. Grow up, Angel. As for Cordelia, she becomes the target of her dearly departed Daryl, who has had help from his brother Chris and friend Eric to assemble pieces of body parts from local Sunnydale girls, who, ironically, died sans supernatural interference. What are the odds of that happening while living on top of a hellmouth? Apparently, Chris brought his brother back to life through his weird science-y skills, but really wants a freak bride like him so as not to be alone. But when Chris and Eric go for Cordelia, her head specifically, Buffy gets her back. Feeling grateful to Xander, we see a very, very, very different Cordelia. Xander blows her off as she shows her gratitude and then wonders aloud why he and Willow are always the last ones standing without a chair when the music stops. Real mystery, huh, Xander? Bitch of the Year Hot Take Special Edition with the Honorable Ira Madison III. Seriously, Ira Madison is a celebrated pop culture expert, writer, and trailblazing podcaster known for his sharp wit and incisive commentary on entertainment and politics. As the former host of the acclaimed podcast Keep It, he's become a defining voice in the culture conversations, blending humor, history, and critique with effortless charisma. See what I did there? His first book, a collection of essays titled Pure Innocent Fun, further highlights his talent for translating pop sensibilities into a meaningful, heartwarming narrative. As lifelong Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, Ira often weaves his love of television and the power of fandom into his art, showing how entertainment shapes identity as well as society. He also has a new book, which he will tell us about when I have him on the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to do Bitch of the Year Hot Takes, but I have my special guest present and available to give his hot takes, his expertise, knowledge about all things Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Are you with me?
Yes.
Hi, Ira.
Hi.
I just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
It's such an honor to have you here with me.
Thank you for having me on your throne.
I mean, are you okay in the consort seat?
I am.
I feel a little embarrassed that I have this giant seat and I'm a little person and we should switch, but...
No, it's gorgeous. It's perfect.
I feel like you would champion that I not change seats.
No, you should stay in the seat.
Queen C should stay in the seat.
Yeah, your first chair.
Was my instinct right?
Yeah.
Love it! All right, you guys, together we're going to go through and I'm going to give you my hot takes like I always do. I'm going to give my commentary and then Ira's going to weigh in on the scene himself, give his hot takes, and then also maybe agree or add to what I have to say and maybe even not agree and educate me on all things because you are also a writer, a TV writer. Yeah. You're so, can I freak out for a second? Can I fangirl for a second? Tell me everything about Nikki Fresh.
Oh my God.
Tell me everything.
Oh my God, you saw
She's
Nikki
so
Fresh.
Funny. She's so funny.
That was so much fun. Nikki Fresh was the Quibi show
Yes.
that I did, which is, remember Quibi? What a journey.
It's still with us, isn't it?
No, it's all gone.
It's gone.
It lasted like 5 minutes.
But Tubi is with us.
Yes. But it's so funny that Quibi is very much like TikTok. Like people watching shows on TikTok, Quibi was just too early, I think.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Nikki Fresh was so much fun. And it was just me.
How fun was she?
She's amazing.
Is it scripted or unscripted?
It is both.
Yeah.
It's like scripted and then there's a lot of improv.
Right.
The songs were all written though.
Oh my God, so good. Do you want to describe who Nikki Fresh is though?
Yeah, Nikki Fresh was Nicole Richie and she had this persona in the show as this sort of she had this persona in the show as this like health conscious rapper. So she was rapping about
on a farm.
Yeah, she was rapping about vegetables and her chickens and like water.
It is so funny. I think she's a genius and she's obviously a pop culture icon.
I know. I want to remember the name of the woman who created it.
But in the meantime, I just want you guys to know, tell me some of the other stuff. Well, I mean, tell our audience, in your own words, what are some of the things that you're most proud of in your repertoire? Your many hats that you wear.
I know. Well, So currently I'm very excited about just writing. I had an essay collection come out earlier this year, Pure
Hand it to
Innocent
me.
Fun.
Hand it to, this isn't pure
Yeah.
innocent fun.
Okay, no, yes. So I had my essay collection, Pure Innocent Fun, come out earlier this year, and then I just had my first published short story come out in Volume 0 magazine. And
the story,
it's called Selling Vermont.
Selling Vermont, I saw an excerpt about it.
Yes.
About your very tone deaf boss.
Yes,
Making
not
some
mine though. It's fiction.
Somebody's boss. Somebody in a boss position had some very interesting questions they felt were appropriate to ask.
Yeah, but no, it's my first fiction piece, and so I'm so excited, and it's the basis for the.
Isn't there a little truth in all fiction?
Of course, a little bit.
A little bit.
But it's the basis for the book I'm currently working on.
Which is?
A novel. The first one.
Which is?
It doesn't have a name yet, but it's just, I'm writing it.
Is it The Misadventures of Ira Madison III?
No, it will be fictional again. Nothing based on my life at all.
Okay. God, that seems so hard.
Yeah.
And challenging.
So, yeah, that's what I've been really excited about lately.
And how hard is it to face the page every day? Do you write every day? What is that process?
I don't write every day. You know, there's this like, not me quoting Toni Morrison, but there's this Toni Morrison quote where
What's wrong with quoting Toni Morrison?
Yes, you know, equating myself there, but it's there's this quote that she has about like writer's block, where it was maybe you're blocked for a reason. And so like, you know, write every day. It's like when you don't feel it, just don't do it.
What?
Yeah, and don't try and force it out.
Literally have heard the opposite. I've literally heard the opposite, that writing, like attempting to write is, or like, you know, the discipline of writing and the access that that is required to write involves you turning on that faucet every single day.
Yeah, but sometimes
the flow, you know,
don't
sometimes
try and
it
like
spits.
Sometimes don't try and like, you know, force it.
I mean,
So I've had like a couple of days where I have like a few days where I haven't been writing this week.
you haven't felt compelled.
No, but you know, I'm getting right back into it on Monday.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Or this weekend. Yeah, whichever.
Whatever you feel compelled to do.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then I have a friend that writes all the time, like obsessively writes, like, you know, is just so prodigious in their writing. And
this has been coming though. You know, it's been like, I've been really excited.
Great.
It's actually writing this book has been the most excited I've been about writing in years, actually, maybe ever, to be honest. And so I'm just sort of like, when it comes, it comes. And when I'm not compelled in the morning to write, then I hang out, you know, I'll watch a movie or
maybe
I'll read a book.
that'll spark you.
Yeah, I'm a big like movie in the morning person.
I think this is a great idea. And I have done this on a Sunday morning. I've done this as well. I think that's a good thing. And I think it's also really smart and intelligent to use the mediums that you are, you know, that it would be inspiring or spark an idea. Like knowing like, okay, I don't feel inspired right now to write. Maybe I'll read or consume some art that would then give me an idea of what to write. I feel like when I'm writing, and I know we're not doing our hot takes right this second, as I promised, but I just wanted to talk about this with you for a second. But one of the things that I have to do in the run of show is I have to give my, you know, what is the name of the segment? Like where I talk about what this episode's about in my tone, in my bitch voice. This week, according to the bitch, I had to be told what my segment was. My brain, listen, the last, leading up to the recordings, I work insane hours, and my brain is dead. But one of the things that I find, even when I was writing that last night, and I'm facing the page, and I just finished watching and doing all my hot takes, and then I'm like, I feel depleted. Like, what is in the well? There's nothing in the well. And I literally said to myself, just write whatever comes to mind. And if you hate it, then don't use that part. Just push that to the bottom of the page and then start over. And if that idea isn't, and what I find is when I do commit and I don't allow myself to walk away, if I just force myself to do it, I mean, force isn't a strong word. It's just finding the mojo, or what idea is, whatever idea is in my mind that I feel sparked by, and running with that. And sometimes it's the practice of just writing it that then I find the spark and I go, oh, this is crap. This is the idea I'm going to take from that paragraph and make that the subject of the writing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I write a lot of the times. I mean, a lot of this book to be honest, is either a book I've tried to write before or a character that I was just sort of writing before, like over the past few years. And now it's all sort of gelled into one big, beautiful idea. So.
And do you write for your audience or do you write for yourself? Do
I
you just
write
put
for
it?
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I write sort of like what's entertaining me, and then I think about the audience later.
Later. I love it.
Yeah, if at all.
If at all.
Yeah, I sort of write for myself all the time.
Right, like what you would have wanted to read or what you like or just like
Just
what's
what I
coming.
like. Just what I like, yeah.
So I don't think I necessarily am write or do write what I like as much as I'm just writing what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's just coming from me. But to be fair, whatever creative writing I'm doing around this podcast, it's like it's IP exists, it pre-exists, right? So it's not like original, but the tone and they aren't words written by anyone else, they are my words. But the idea, it's not Cordelia speaking per se as much as just like bitch voice. But it feels like because I'm talking about IP that exists, Giles, I'm talking about these characters, it's not truly original.
Yeah.
So I would imagine if I were to take everything that I'm learning from this process and try to apply it to an absolutely fresh slate, I mean, it terrifies me, the idea of doing
it
that.
got me there, though. I mean, let me tell you, my, like, sort of practice for, I guess, even writing, like, fiction in the first place, and then going into playwriting and then television writing was Buffy, to be honest. I used to write Buffy fanfic.
I need to see some of this. I need to see some of this.
I don't even think it exists on the internet anymore.
No, but you have it in your computer.
No, definally I don't have. I've honestly I've tried to find it actually.
Have you tried to find it?
Yes, I used to write it and publish it on. Do you remember this old website, Buffyguide.com?
This what?
There's this website called Buffyguide.com,
No.
and they used to recap the Buffy episodes, and there were forums, and I used to be in those forums and like talk about Buffy all the time. And I had it on fanfiction.net too, which I think that like fanfiction.net kind of like LiveJournal got like bought by like some Russian website or something. None of it's there anymore.
Well, this is interesting, and I've just got an idea. Gregory, co-producer, I think we should do a whole dedicated Patreon fan fiction tier where you submit your fan fiction, and it's a lot of labor for me to take on, so we'll just like limit how many words, like no more than 2,000 words or something, and submit it, and like the winner will like, get a cruise to the Bahamas or something.
I'm going to try to find it on Wayback.
Oh my God, not find on Wayback. I don't even remember the titles, but it was, Buffy fanfic is what got me into then writing sort of
So I'm
my
on the right
own
track?
supernatural stories like online. Yeah, because you would write it on fanfic.net and then other fans would read
Respond.
it and they would comment on it. And I think
that
was
brutal? Was it like
sometimes
Reddit?
it was good, sometimes it was brutal, but other times like people were very nice and generous. And I feel like that was what prepared me for. It was an early version of like when I went to get my MFA in writing, It was an early version of like being critiqued in class and stuff. So yeah.
So maybe I'm on my way.
Yeah.
What's funny is that I had my friend Amy Foster on for a last episode, and I'm going to wrap this up. I know this is going to make us go long, but and can I have the timer when we do the hot take so that we have an idea of how long it is, just for my sake? But just to say to you that, or whomever's listening, that when Amy was on, Gregory and I, we were talking about like, oh my gosh, Amy was saying, I see Cordelia as like the only adult in the room. I don't see you as a bitch. I see her as just like being the only adult in the room. And then on top of that, it's just like, I would imagine in the reboot, like if I were to imagine Cordelia in the reboot, I would just see her like, she's forced to have to go back to high school because like her ex-husband put it in the contract, like if you want your alimony, you have to do this, you have to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's just sort of like that. And that she's there begrudgingly, which would just suit it and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, could you imagine like being a housewife of the whatever? I didn't say Hell of Wealth. I said a Real Housewives thing. And then Gregory goes, the Real Housewives of the Hellmouth. And I was like, oh my God, this is our next show. Like, how funny would that be? Do you imagine, or what do you imagine an ideal reboot to look like? And am I in it?
Well, I mean, aren't you like up in the air somewhere?
Well, am I? I don't know. How many times did Buffy
back
die?
by this point.
How many
I
people?
think he'd be back by this point.
Maybe I'm ethereal. Maybe I'm just a ghost. Maybe I'm an apparition. Maybe
Yeah.
I get corporal because of a spell. I don't know. What do you think?
Or like you're back in like someone else's body. I don't know. And you're trying to find your original body
Okay.
because you never died. Yeah.
But I like my body.
Yeah, you're trying to find it, the original one. They're looking for you. They're looking for where's Cordelia's body. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Maybe I should get that facelift. Get Lindsay Lohan. And then I'll be like the 30-year-old. Alleged. She looks fantastic, whatever she's doing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you imagine her? Do you think she should come back?
Cordelia? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But do you think you can do a reboot without her? Because the last 4 seasons, she wasn't a part of the Buffy at all.
Yeah. I think she could pop in.
She never once had a crossover.
Yeah.
So do we even need a Cordelia is my point.
Wait, yes, but you did interact with some of. Did you at least interact with like Allison Hannigan when she came over once?
One season we were on the phone.
Okay, yes.
And I was and Phantom Dennis was in the room.
Yes.
Yes, there was that one time. And there might have been 2 times.
Yes. Well, Allison Hannigan came
And then
when
she
you
came
were
on Angel.
possessed.
And then she came to Angel
Yes.
in the 4th season.
Season 4, yeah, when you were evil.
Correct. But I never went back to the Buffy
Yeah, that's right.
world.
Yeah. I love that episode, by the way.
Which?
Season 4. I love season 4 of Angel.
We are going to fight. We are going to fight.
I am one of the season 4 defenders.
You
I
are
love
a
it.
season
Yes.
4 defender?
I love it.
Okay, give me your top 3 reasons why you love it.
Okay. I thought it was just like it feels like everything is happening sort of like at once. Like I like how the episodes sort of give you a precursor to that like True Blood sort of vibe where like each episode bleeds into the next. Like it felt like it was just like
So they weren't standalone episodes.
No.
One went into the other, so it was one giant episode.
Yeah, season 4 felt
you
like
loved
one,
that.
yeah, season 4 felt like one big just like story.
Ongoing, continuous story.
Yes.
Okay, you love that.
Yeah, I liked it. I loved Jasmine. I thought she was a fun villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Gina Torres is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But she wasn't in the whole season.
No,
so
she wasn't in the whole
What
season.
is it about the season?
I'm
going to press you on this, Ira.
No, I think that
I'm
the
gonna
season
press you.
has some good, fun twists, though, too. Like, I like Angel coming back, but not really coming back, but then coming back. I
don't remember that.
Yeah.
You mean as Angelus? Like he was
Yeah,
in the bottom
as
of the
Angelus.
water, right?
He was in the bottom of the water into season 3, but then he comes back. But there's a point where he comes back as Angelus because
I blocked it out.
because they're trying to figure out what you're up to.
Cordy?
But they didn't know it was you. Yeah.
Or the Beast.
The Beast, yes.
Yeah.
But before, because the Beast was
And
like
how do you
inside
feel
of
about
you or
Cordelia
whatever.
having an affair with her stepson?
Yeah.
Why do you like this episode, Ira? I'm seeing lots of holes.
That was
I'm
a
seeing
little
lots of
that
holes.
was a little crazy. But also you
Little.
never really
just a
raised
little.
him. He was kidnapped as a baby and then came back
Okay,
as like
Woody
as an
Allen,
adult.
apologist.
You never even saw him for like year. Well, it had been like a year for you, I guess, but it was a child before then.
That was my child.
Yeah.
I raised him, sort of.
For like a day.
It was longer than that.
It was like a day.
Still, it blurs.
And then Wesley
like,
kidnapped. Also, I loved Wesley's redemption in that season.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
all right,
like darker Wesley.
Okay, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was angry.
Yeah.
He was very pissed off.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody was pissed off in season 4.
Everybody was pissed off in season 4. Yeah.
Why do we like it? I don't know.
I think the episodes are. I think they're fun. Yeah.
Well, this is the deal. When we get to the Angel side of things,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to do this as it was broadcast. The podcast will follow the show as broadcast.
What? Yeah. Are you going to keep doing Buffy when you're gone?
Yes.
The episodes. Okay. Great.
100%. 254 episodes. This
Okay,
is going to
good.
be a very long podcast, right,
Yeah.
guys? So.
Oh, that'll be fun too because then you can watch the episodes and be like, well, what would Cordelia have done if she was here?
So season 1 of Angel will coincide
Mm-hmm.
with season 4 of Buffy. So I'll do
great.
both.
Okay, great.
Yeah, as it was broadcast, and I'll bring you back. And for season 4, I'm going to bring you back.
Okay, great.
And we will fight. Okay. All right. So first 12 seconds. This is Giles narrating the opening credits. I went back to episode 1 of season 2. There wasn't a Slayer lore narration in that particular episode. So this is the first time that I noticed Anthony Stewart Head, a.k.a. R. Giles, making that narration. And I never found out who was doing the narration of the lore, like to every generation a
Yeah.
Slayer is born. I never found out who did that voice before.
Oh, wow.
I think they're uncredited. So I don't know. At 25 seconds in, we're in the graveyard, Buffy and Angel. Buffy is talking to Stefan, who is buried beneath, and she's waiting for him to rise. An angel comes up behind her, startling her, and they begin to bicker about how closely she and Xander were dancing in the bronze. Buffy accuses Angel of being jealous, which he clearly is, but denies. Ira, that was so sexy. Honestly,
I love that episode.
when she was bad was
Yeah.
an incredible episode, season finale, right?
Season premiere.
Premiere.
Yeah.
And she, so I'm like 6 years older than Sarah.
Yeah, that's a
And-
big moment for you, by the way, in the show.
What part?
When you walk in and see them dancing, and then you drag Buffy like in the alleyway.
In the alleyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big moment where I stood up to her. That was probably an example of her not being nice but being kind as a
Yes.
friend. You're going to ruin all of your relationships pulling that shit, girl.
Yeah.
Again, the adult in the room. However, but what I thought was interesting was one of the thoughts that I had when I was watching this was that I'd never seen. I haven't seen the episodes, and I'd never seen Sarah use or lean into her sexuality. And I was watching her dance with him, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's palpable. The sexuality is palpable. And I understand now why all of the boys crushed, and all the girls crushed. For everybody had their reasons.
Yeah.
But at that moment I was like, oh, this is overtly sexual. She is deliberately weaponizing her sexuality against
Everyone.
Xander,
And Angel.
especially there, to get him to make him crazy, as she says in this part. And it works, but he won't buy into it. But
Also, the song when they were dancing
Yes.
together, Chiba Mano. Like, I was obsessed with that song
I
after
love
the
that.
show.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. And did you like most like Nerf Herder? Did you
Yeah.
like all of
I
those
had the
bands?
soundtrack.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never really listened to like a lot of like rock or like alternative music before that. And
Yeah.
it got me into it.
Yeah. I love that. I love So one of the things that I do today, even to this day, is when I watch a TV, like Nurse Jackie. Nurse Jackie is an example of a soundtrack that I love to watch the show so I could discover new music because I'm a music head. I love
Yeah.
that stuff. All right, so at 40 seconds in, Graveyard, Buffy, Angel, and Angel says, I heard you were on the hunt. Buffy says, supposed to be, but Lazybones here doesn't want to come out and play. And Angel says, when you first wake up, it's a little disorientating. And Buffy says, it's weird to think of you going through that. Buffy goes from being startled to telling a joke to being compassionate, then indignant within a minute of screen time. And I just want to articulate in this particular scene, this level of emotional dexterity for an actress is tough, rare even, and rarer given Sarah's youth. Again, I'm watching my fellow co-stars and appreciating their talent on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Did you feel that these are, like, obviously we know that Sarah is very talented, but did you appreciate the talent when you saw it, when you were watching it through initially?
I think I did.
How old were you when you first saw it?
Well, when it first started, I was starting high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just getting out of middle school. Or was I? No, I was starting middle school, actually. Yeah, middle school. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, 97.
yes.
Let me help you, 97.
Yes, I was
96,
very young.
97. Yeah.
Yes.
Very
But
young.
so I didn't realize it at first, but as I rewatched it, I get those moments.
Yeah.
Because also, she's very good at sort of what you were just saying, right? Like a really good Buffy scene, usually when she's arguing either with like Angel or with Giles or with her mom or like with her friends or something, like she'll go from like something, there's a joke, but then there's something like emotional, but then it's like, oh, I'm indignant about something. It's like a lot of emotions in one scene.
Yeah.
Like the show is very good at that, at zipping back and forth from emotions in a scene.
Agreed. Can you think of any other show that does it as well? Or has gone, because I can think of one show off the top of my head that was really good at that. Rob Thomas's Veronica Mars.
I was about to say Veronica Mars.
Were you?
Yes. Kristen Bell was so good at that.
good at
Well,
it.
because it's that same kind of character, right?
Right.
She is sort of in charge, but also not
Too
really
young
in
to be in
charge.
charge.
Too young to be in charge. Underestimated by a lot of the adults in the room, and but also she's protective of her friends. She's also
Trying to live her life.
dealing with romantic issues too,
Right.
and then she's also just got like a bit of a like hardened edge and attitude. So she's like telling jokes and stuff. Yeah,
It's the broken home thing,
yeah.
isn't
That's
it?
why I loved Veronica Mars.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. It was a phenomenal example of that. All right, so this particular scene, we're going to watch it together,
Okay.
and then I have some commentary. So do you want to break, or do you want me to just lean forward and open up the laptop and off we go? All right, so we're going to watch this scene at 1 minute, 32 seconds. It's in the graveyard. It's while Buffy is waiting for Stefan to rise so she can vanquish him. And Angel hears that she is on the hunt, and he goes looking for her and startles her while she's waiting for Stefan. And here is the scene.
See? Whenever we fight, you always bring up the vampire.
Well, I didn't come here to fight.
You see?
Right, I did. Where's my steak? I know I had a steak.
I didn't see a steak.
Stopping for a second. First of all, why didn't he go vamp face right away?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
Sometimes he doesn't, and I'm always like, I mean, I always just have the question of like, is it just were they just shooting and didn't put
Have
him in makeup
time?
for it?
No, that it's all pre-planned. Obvious. Is that what you mean?
Well, because if you're shooting this night scene with the both of them, right, and he's not in his vamp face, then you have to shoot those scenes, and then don't you have to shoot them again after you put
Yes.
David in the vamp
Yes.
face too?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they
Yes.
just didn't want to do all
Timing.
that. Yeah, timing.
So, but I feel like this would be an incredible production dilemma, because the first half of the scene when he walks up, there he is just being Angel, having this jealousy fight, but then he needs his vampire strength to fight another vampire, because he doesn't have the strength of Buffy when he's just Angel, only when he is Angelus or in vamp face.
Yeah.
So
I've always wondered that though too. I'm
What?
like, yes, when he's fighting, does like it come out because like that's what gives him his strength, or is he strong when he is not just having vamp face?
I feel like
Because sometimes
He's
Angel is fighting without his vampire face.
he's strong,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have vampire strength. And I think like if you're going to fight another vampire who presumably has vampire strength, you're going to want to match that level of strength.
Yeah, I'd
Unless
always wondered.
he's alpha secure and be like, I can take you no matter what.
You know what? I'd actually never really thought about the vampire face changing stuff too, and now I'm having to wonder, like, for you when you were shooting
Right.
the show,
Right.
it's like you would obviously be shooting regular scenes, and then you would have to pause so that
Right.
he
On
or like he
Angel.
could get in, so that he could get into vamp face, and then you're reshooting the rest of the scene, right?
Okay, so mind you, this is season 2, episode 2. By the time I'm on Angel,
Yeah.
we are practiced in the
Okay.
prosthetics.
Yeah.
And like David has said, they slap it on super fast. He could just peel
Okay.
it off. Like it was
Okay.
just super
Cool.
You know, the technology just kept getting better and better. But in this scene, I got to be honest, as a woman who is the slayer and that is used to fighting, and then my boyfriend's there, and my boyfriend gets knocked out, and then you have to finish the job.
He's always getting knocked out.
No, that's Giles.
Oh, that's true. But I feel like she's always having to like whoever she's with is always like they help her fight for a minute, and then
For
it's
a
usually
nanosecond.
up to her.
Right. And I honestly feel like this sort of emasculates Angel.
A little
And
bit,
I
yeah.
think as an audience member, as his girlfriend, I mean, and also doesn't he have like a little embarrassment around that? Like, oops, sorry, I got knocked out by the shovel.
Isn't this episode about that though? About emasculation, thematically.
I didn't write that.
Yeah, but I
I
think it
didn't
sort
write
of
that
is.
it was. I'm processing this.
Yeah.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Well, it's like they're trying to build this like Frankenstein. They're bringing Daryl back to life,
Right.
and they're
Not because he was emasculated.
no,
His
but they're
life was
but
cut
in
too short.
them like trying to kidnap like the
Yes.
women and stuff. I feel like it's sort of like emasculating them at least.
Huh.
And then even him, it's like he's needing like them to build him
A new body.
Body and a new girlfriend. You know,
Right.
it's just sort of like a lot of men like not being able to do things for themselves in this episode, or in general.
All right, so we're going to continue watching. That was my thoughts on that so far at 1 minute. This is now 1 minute 58 seconds. So I'm going to continue watching the scene.
Thank you.
So the shovel, she's looking for the steak.
I love when she uses something that's not a steak.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Now he comes awake as soon as he's been vanquished.
What do you mean he's just a kid? Does that mean I'm just a kid too?
Look, obviously I made a mistake coming here tonight.
Don't you walk away. No, you don't. No, sir. No, sir. I think not.
But so this episode also is I enjoy this episode.
Yeah, I
quite
do
a
too.
bit. It's sort of more screwball comedy than a lot of the other episodes, because it's sort of like, obviously when she chases after him, right? You know, he was just emasculated by being knocked out during the fight, right? And then twice, but then she follows after him and falls into an empty grave.
Yes.
Yeah. So it
that
evens
is true.
out.
He's still a vampire and a man. I don't know if it's quite even yet. So my notes on this was, at 1 minute 32 seconds, Graveyard Buffy and Angel vamp while bickering over petty jealousies about Buffy's dance with Xander last episode. Let's scroll a little bit. Which she admits to doing which she admits to doing just to make Angel crazy. They become distracted by the now risen undead Stefan. They all fight remarkably. Angel is knocked out not once, but 2 times, rendering him kind of useless. Not a good look, I'm afraid. I mean, doesn't he have just as much strength as Buffy, at the very least as much as the other vampire? What gives? Buffy stakes the vampire Stefan with the shovel handle nearby, then turns to Angel. What do you mean, just a kid? Does that mean I'm just a kid too? Angel recoils and walks away, jerk, just when the conversation gets challenging. And his pride handed to him with the metal end of a shovel. Ugh, he's so infuriating. Buffy calls out to him. Buffy says, oh no, you don't. You can't just turn and walk away from me like that. It takes more than that to get rid of me. And then she falls into an open grave and casket. Eeks. Angel returns to ask, are you okay? Buffy, annoyed, I'm fine. Gee, I wish people wouldn't leave open graves laying around like this. Angel, so another vampire has ridden tonight. Buffy, I don't think so. Look at those tracks. Whoever was buried here didn't rise from his grave. Finds a muddy high heel. She was dragged. So that was that little bit. And, I think we're tackling a couple of things. I also remember, and I have said this before, but like, I know that Sarah was completely tortured having to be in a grave. Did not like it at all. Was not like, didn't like it. It was really hard. That was that scene. And again, I just don't, I do love that she made a makeshift stake out of a shovel. I don't know how many times I've seen that thus far. I don't think many.
But she does it a lot throughout the series.
But one thing I do want to point out is in this episode, much like the last episode, with the boy that has the abuser with the ugly man, the baseball coach. One of the things that these kind of episodes more recently are leaning into is less ghouls and goblins and more real life horrors.
Yeah.
Where it's talking about the character of a human and being capable of doing these things to other humans. And that is the real scary, the true scary. What scares you?
What does scare me? People.
People are spooky.
I don't know. Also, like, sometimes I have very, like, weird dreams. You know, like the sleep paralysis thing happens sometimes, but not often.
Where you're screaming, but you're actually not able
Yeah, or
to
you
scream.
can't move. Yeah.
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 I actually have that same fear.
I've had that before.
Being in surgery and being drugged, but you're not out.
Yeah, I had it in one specific apartment before, and then all the time. But
Like
then
a
I
paranormal experience?
like I couldn't like sort of like feeling that sensation of like you're awake and then but like not awake. But it's gone away like largely. It does still happen sometimes though when I'm very when I'm sort of very tired and you're trying to fall asleep, but you know when you have fall asleep and like it's like your body falls asleep before your brain does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the moment that sort of like
You
still
feel
freaks
it
me
comes
out.
to you.
Yeah, because you start to fall asleep, but you're like, wait, your brain is still awake, but you can't move like the rest of your body. Yeah,
Right. Makes sense. So I think what scares me the most is also people and learning what
people are capable of.
what people are capable of.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because the villains in this episode are
People.
just two real.
But
wolves.
all stemming from what? What do you think the common denominator in all of it? Like, well, you know, the grief of the mom.
Yeah, it's grief in this episode for sure.
I feel like the grief on this episode is super strong.
Yes, it's grief, but
And it
then
has a
there's
domino effect.
it's grief, but then there's also just some people who are evil because they want something that they can't have. You know, because Daryl's brother,
Chris.
is he's obviously trying to bring his brother back to life. You know, because he has that grief.
For what reason? Is he doing the wacky thing
He-
for love for his mother? Like, this will
Yeah.
make my mom.
For love of his mom, but also for like love of his brother, etc. But his friend,
What's
on the other
his
hand,
problem?
his friend on
Eric.
the other hand, Eric, is just sort of like twisted.
Crazy.
Yeah. And he sort of seems to be like getting off on like kidnapping,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
trying to kill
like
the
pushing
women.
him. Like,
Yeah.
it's time. We need to do this.
Yeah.
We need to start killing. We
yeah.
need a head
It's
now.
not grief for him. It's
No.
like it's very much like
It's nefarious.
yeah,
It's-
yeah, power.
yeah. Crazy. Woo, deep.
Yeah.
It's deep stuff, the
yeah.
show.
I like this episode. It's
Yeah.
fun.
So at 5 minutes, 41 seconds, we're in the library with Xander, Giles, and Buffy. And Giles said, "Did Mr. Korshak show up on schedule?" as he would say. Buffy says, "More or less. Angel and I took care of him." Xander says, "Angel," dripping in jealousy. Buffy says, "There's something else, though," as she glares at Xander, which is clocking what he said while also responding to Giles verbally, but looking at Xander. So this, pause it for a second. This is one of those moments. I did write it. This is another example of where you see an actor. I'm giving like an actor insight thing where you see an actor actively listening and working off of another actor in a scene. So pause. So what's happening is she's clocking what Xander just said and the sarcasm
Yeah,
and,
of course.
and the jealousy, but also listening to Giles and not directly giving him the eye, which he's clueless to, but she's like, for camera and audience sake, we see her clock his sarcastic remark, responding to Giles while looking still at Xander and giving Giles the answer she needs. So this is like a really good, like if you're in acting class or you're this is a really good example of a reading that if you were in an audition per se, you wouldn't necessarily think to do or use, where you're where I think I could imagine being in the audition process and using this scene and Giles asking me a question and I'm reading with the casting director, so I'm just going to give the response to the casting director as if I am talking to Giles. But really what you're missing and why the audition process does not really help you to be chosen or to resolve the casting problem is that, nothing comes alive. You don't have multiple casting directors and multiple actors like making it so the actor can give more choices where she can deliver that line to Giles, but all the while clocking Xander and responding to him by a glaring look, but also giving the answer to Giles. I digress. She's listening to Xander and reciting her dialogue to Giles, which has nothing to do with Xander, but since the camera is fixed on her, we see her sights are focused on him being Xander. This tells the audience so much, and what she is telegraphing to Xander and the audience is, I am not going to even respond to this mocking of Angel directly. I won't dignify it with a response, but I do see you, and I see what you are doing, and I'm not into your bullshit. But what stands out here, though, is Xander is giving off vibes like he is confident and secure in this scene, right? Even challenging Giles a bit, mocking Giles about having a chat about the birds and the bees. I feel like this is a little bit out of character for Xander's behavior, his typical behavior. Xander is all things insecure and a bumbling fool, but all of a sudden in this moment, he just kind of is jockeying for more, I don't know, maybe he's peacocking for Buffy's sake, but he just seems a little different in this scene. And to me, I wonder if he's peacocking a little bit for Buffy's sake. Maybe that little dance on the floor, on the dance floor episode gave him a boost of ego. What do you think is happening? Did you notice it? Did you clock that?
I mean, he's sort of being an asshole in this scene.
Sort of?
Being very much an asshole in this scene. And it definitely is him stemming from the last episode, I'm sure. You know, he's mad at Buffy.
There was some emotional debris happening.
Yeah, he's mad at her, you know.
Mad.
Yeah, and usually he doesn't have a
Raging.
reason to be mad at her because he's annoying. But I will say that in this instance, he has a more legitimate reason to be annoyed with her. Yeah.
Agreed. It's valid. But also,
And now
why
here
not?
she is talking about Angel again, you know.
Right. But also at the same time, and I'll get into it later on down this road, down here, but also why not just confront her and go, what, you know, I guess this is like why I could never write a TV show, because I would end up having all these conflicts. It's kind of
Yes.
better to let it simmer.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
it
this
makes
is
it
the
more
TV,
interesting.
like, the will they, either like the Ross and Rachel will they, won't they, or the like, how do you sustain this? You know, there's the character, there's always, all these shows usually have like a character pining after like a main character, and
Always.
they never bring it up, you know? Like Screech
Do you
and
think
Saved by
that's
the
true
Bell.
in life? I never
You
watched
know,
that show.
it's just always, you know, like someone reliving their high school days, you know, and so writing themselves sort of as Xander, you know.
Yeah, we have that on record.
Yes.
So at 5 minutes, 53 seconds, library continued. Giles and Xander. Buffy is debriefing Giles on the body that was dug up in the graveyard and taken out, letting him know this is not a vampire rising from the dead, to which Giles gives the most unusual response. Giles, grave robbing? That's new. Interesting. With an actual lilt in his voice and an ever so slight smile. Weird. Buffy, I know you meant to say gross and disturbing. Oh, yes, of course. Terrible thing. Must put a stop to it. And then he gives the requisite damn it, which is kind of funny and amusing. I don't recognize Giles in this episode at all. He is being so weird.
He would be excited by a grave robbing, though. I think that's going to like maybe it's just an idea of like him being a watcher that
Old
like
stuffy fellow?
he would be like interested in like weird like demons and like new things, you know? Because I'm like he's probably like bored with just the regular vampires. He's like, oh, something new for me to research.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe. So same scene and location and characters. Buffy had already identified the dug-up female from the gravesite as Meredith Todd. She was the Scooby's age. Neither one of them had heard of her. Xander saying, drawing a blank, which harkens back to the previous episode regarding the Invisible Girl and Out of Mind, Out of Sight. None of the other Scoobies knew who she was either. And there was some guilt around that. And it goes to show that from the most popular of students down to the perceived nerdy outcast Scoobies, everyone gets kind of wrapped up in their own lives to notice others. At 6 minutes, 43 seconds, we're in the school hallway. Science fair, Gally, Willow, a student named Eric, a student named Chris Epps, and Cordelia. Chris snaps a camera aggressively at Willow, who protests. Can we talk about Allison's makeup in this? She looks extra beautiful here. What is this timestamp? I want to show Ira. What did I write? 6:43. Look at how she looks especially glamorous in this scene, I feel like.
Oh,
Like more eyeliner or lash, more mascara, something.
Because every year you win and I place second, so I just thought I'd see what I'm up against.
You know,
She
don't know.
does look
A little
lovely
more-
in this, but also what's interesting too about this scene is that it sort of gives you a glimpse into like, you know, what these people's lives could be if they weren't engrossed in all of like their
Undead.
Either their grief or like hang-ups on other people. It's like we know that Willow is hung up on Xander. And
I call it the circle of pining.
Right, she's pining over Xander, and
Xander's pining for Buffy. Buffy's pining for Angel, and nobody has anybody.
Right, and Dylan. No, it's Daryl and it's
Daryl and Chris. They're brothers, and then Eric is the loony.
Yes. Okay. And so then you have Chris here interacting with Willow, and it's like if he weren't busy trying to, bring people back from the dead and grave robbing, like he's like flirting with Willow in this scene.
A little bit.
Yeah, and he's cute.
She looks like she would totally go there.
Yeah, and he's cute. And
he is cute.
Yeah, and they both have they're both very smart.
They're vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're also, they seem to really respect each other.
Yeah.
They respect their science-y skills.
Yeah.
And, Willow, who we, the audience, know to be the brainiac of all, is like really admiring of Chris and his science skills and his, ability to win every year, and he's the one to beat. So she's, she respects him. She doesn't really respect Xander.
No.
She's caught up in a Xander love from when she was 5.
Right.
Right?
Because there's always moments where she will make fun of someone for not being smart. Mostly you. but she never makes fun of Xander for being an idiot.
No.
Sometimes she'll make a joke.
Yeah, she romanticizes.
He couldn't do a science project.
No. And Cordelia can.
Yeah.
Which we learned did quite well in the SATs. She has layers.
Yeah.
She also is prepared. Do you remember that scene in Out of Mind, Out of Sight, I believe it was, when she was like, no, it was Nightmares. Last episode, when she was trying to get, like, her worst nightmare was having a quiz and not being prepared for it. And she shows up to class, and Cordelia is prepared. She's ready. Yeah. And I think there are tidbits of information that indicate that Cordelia isn't like the idiot. It's just, she
does well in school. Absolutely.
She's just... And I also think, like, her observations are accurate. All of her observations are. It's just that she shares it all. And so that's sort of considered, and I would imagine, especially for Giles, super annoying because, the English never air their laundry or what they think. Yeah. Tact is just not saying true stuff. I'll pass.
Yeah. Also, she just, very much everything that pops into her head, she says it, Yeah. So, like, I love the Cordelia-Willow interaction in this episode. The tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a fruit or vegetable?
Yeah.
So anyway, she looks really beautiful here. And Eric says, look at those legs. Willow, no thank you, LOL. It's like maybe Willow is crushing on Chris, as we just discussed. At 7 minutes, 25 seconds, enter Cordelia. She signs up for the science fair under protest. Cordelia takes a clipboard. Okay, I'm doing this under protest. It's not fair that they are making participation in this year's science fair mandatory. I don't think anyone should have to do anything educational in school if they don't want to. That is such a random thing to say. Willow, the tomato, fruit or vegetable? Cordelia smiling at the light lift of the project. This is a moment where we see Cordelia making the deliberate choice to take the easy route, knowing it was the easy route too. Defensively, she says, I wanted to do something I could finish in a weekend. All right.
Which shows that she actually, like we said, she's smart. She
Self-aware.
clearly does well in school, but also she has other priorities, like she's on the cheerleading squad and like she doesn't want to be doing homework
Chasing
all
boys.
the time.
Yeah.
So she's like,
time management.
I'll do my schoolwork, but like I don't want to be forced to do this science fair.
Right. This is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to do this? Light work. Let's just try to do the easiest thing.
Yeah.
At 7 minutes, 57 seconds, Buffy enters and pulls Willow away. Cordelia goes to leave too, but creepy Eric stands in her way. She scoffs and walks off to join other male students. Eric tells Chris Cordelia is so fine and that she'd be perfect for them. Chris scoffs and says, don't be an idiot. She's alive. Dun, dun, dun. Eric smirks and says he has an idea to make that so.
Yeah, see, I mean, Eric's the creepy one.
Look out for the ones with the cameras in your face.
Yes.
Or the ones that are like probably under the bleachers.
Yes.
Looking up your skirt and taking pictures. 8 minutes, 24 seconds, computer room, Buffy, Xander, Willow. Willow has the corner offices bookmarked as a favorite place and makes a joke about it. 8 minutes, 33 seconds, enter Cordelia. Hi! Sorry to interrupt your little undead playgroup, but Which kind of reminds me of at the beginning, the pilot episode with Eric Balfour playing Jesse. She goes, I don't mean to interrupt your downward mobility.
Yes.
That is like one of my favorite lines by her. And I thought for a second, wait, are we reliving that same thing? No, she mixed it up a little bit. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your little undead playgroup, but, and then asks Willow to help her with her science fair project. Note, this line is ADR. I don't know if you guys like to know this stuff, but I picked up on it right away. The sound is a little different. I can hear the line. The line actually sounds different from the rest of the lines delivered during production.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Willow quickly and in a deadpan tone says, "It's a fruit." Cordelia feigning sadness. I would have asked Chris to help me. I think I meant Daryl. But that would have been oh no, she did mean Chris.
Yeah.
I would have asked Chris to help me, but that would have brought back too many memories of Daryl. The hand gently covers her mouth dramatically. It kills me. It would have made me think of him. So sad, so sad. She's so sad.
So what did you think when you were doing this episode and you got this backstory? You know, because this also is something else that colors Cordelia. You know, you were dating like the popular football player,
No,
and then he
they
does.
weren't. But so it implies that they're dating, but then we learn later on in the episode that Daryl and her didn't date, and in fact, Daryl had blindly ignored her, even though she had, tried so hard to be with him.
Yeah.
So I think that is an interesting coloring to who Cordelia is, and that things don't always go her way.
Yeah. She
Right?
was pining.
She was, oh my God, the circle of pine. We're adding more.
Yeah.
And Cordelia pines for Daryl, a dead Daryl.
Yeah. Also,
My other brother, Daryl.
You bringing up, just like to throw back to that pilot moment, is
Yeah.
I always think a lot too about what their group dynamic would be if Jesse had never been turned into a vampire.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because the pilot starts with them sort of, him and Xander even sort of like jokingly fighting over like Buffy, you know?
Honestly,
And I feel like if he was alive, like she might have like dated or had a thing with Jesse. And then Xander would have been
Cordelia,
upset with
yeah.
and then Xander would have been upset with his best friend.
I feel like this, honestly, would have been an incredible storyline. And I
Yeah.
was really sad to see him go. And I don't know what that was about. Maybe he was too much like Xander and they couldn't
Yeah.
properly service the character.
I mean, they definitely wanted someone important to probably like die at the pilot to like raise the stakes too.
Maybe, yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, his interaction with
Yeah.
Xander and like Willow would have been like interesting.
Yeah, I had him on the show, and
I love Eric Balfour.
He does incredible work. He's
Yeah.
a talented actor, and
R.I.P. his show that was one season.
which one?
Veritas.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. That was
Yeah.
kind of Buffy-ish, but it was like it
Yeah?
was Tomb Raider-y.
I didn't see it, but
It was like a Tomb Raider show. They went and like digged up like artifacts and things each week, and like people were like chasing them for it.
He's so well
It was
cast for
yeah.
that.
It was like an Indiana Jones
Yeah.
ish Tomb Raider-ish show.
I mean, he has all that one would need to be a movie star. I feel like he has rugged good looks, but he could also be clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
He's also sensitive, but can also service that alpha male thing. You
Yeah.
know, if needed.
And then he never came
He's a
back because he
huge
dies
talent.
in the pilot, right?
I know. I mean, I have all kinds of grief about
Yeah.
this. I'm grieving.
I wish he'd have survived as a vampire and then just come back.
I'm with you, Ira.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Willow, I found it. Meredith Todd died in a car accident last week. Cordy, of course, I have learned to deal with my pain. Buffy says, how is her neck? Willow, fine, except for being broken. Cordelia, hello. Can we deal with my pain, please? Giles pats her on the shoulder. There. Cordelia's expression tells me she's used to her emotional life being ignored. It's as if the shoulder pat was saying, of course. And just like she gets at home. This is what I was telling myself as I was watching the show today. This all-in-one shrug, sigh, and roll of the eyes. See, Cordelia tells people what she needs and is still ignored by the adults and peers and probably her parents. And obviously her mom had Epstein-Barr, so she was obviously neglected there, and Daddy was very busy making money. This is kind of tragic, actually. Surprised she's only selfish and self-centered and not way worse.
Yeah.
Were you going to elaborate on that?
No, I mean, I was also just thinking of like this Meredith girl dying in the car crash. I'm just like, it's funny thinking of people dying in the Sunnydale, but not from.
A supernatural
Yeah.
experience. Yeah. I actually commented on that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. That happens too.
Not a
like
safe
how
school.
how
Not a
it's
safe
not
school.
a safe place. Why does anybody stay? I don't know. Maybe they got good mortgage rates or
Yeah.
something. Willow. It's like it's to take that a step further. It's like, I saw Dead Kills with Jennifer Esposito. She directed her first film, and it's kind of based or loosely based off of her childhood, maybe, I don't know, some kind of way. And it talks about how, like, why they moved out of the city and into this more remote area. And everybody is complaining, especially the mom, going, yeah, because there's an entire dump, like, just 5 miles away, and
Yeah.
it smells like dead garbage, or trash all day long. This is maybe why so many people don't leave Sunnydale,
Yeah.
I would argue. Economic.
Tell everyone you've ever met